Good morning. So today we are going to do, and yes, I would love to have a new chair. This one's kind of creaky, so please excuse. We're going to get into a case that's very intriguing, very moving. So that's what we're going to do this morning. I wanted to use my cards for this particular reading. I've done this case a couple years ago. Or recently as well, that has told me a lot of information that you may find very intriguing. So today we're doing the Atlanta child murders, which happened late 70s, early 80s, because I get he was doing this late 70s as well. So who we're talking about this morning is Wayne Williams. I'm gonna have a cranky day because I'm doing my cleanse. I'm taking my cleansing pills, drinking lots of water, so not eating kind of puts me in a cranky mood. So I want to do a part 1 and a part 2 of this. I believe I'm gonna have to because I need you to understand this, okay? So this morning I'm going to start with reading Wayne Williams, his energy. And I know this is going to get real deep and very emotional because I have connected with some of those spirits that are no longer with us that were involved in this case. Considered the lost children, the list. I have communicated with some of them. And from what I've gathered, that some of those spirits definitely have ran into Wayne Williams, okay? So let's get started with his energy. And again, there is a reason I'll be doing a part 2. And I also had a viewer last night ask me, was I whispering or there was someone whispering in the background they felt. No, that's me chanting with the cards. That's how I call up the spirits. That's how I get my answers. No one's in here whispering because trust me, if they were, I'd have to end this video. It's a little spooky. I did not want to do this reading at night. It's too spooky, you guys. It's really spooky. Okay, tell me about Wayne Williams, So I feel he was looking for a specific type, okay? We are going into predator mode here. And also there was DNA evidence, but as you know, back then wasn't very advanced. But I feel again, he was looking for a specific type. So that's interesting. He has been in trouble before his arrest. Again, he was arrested for the 2 men, and I do believe he did murder those 2 men, and they were involved, and I'm going to go into that in part 2, okay? Not only with Wayne Williams, but the organization that Wayne Williams was a part of. This speaks of his imprisonment now. This speaks of him being in prison then, getting in trouble with the police, different things he was doing then, okay? So he's always been in trouble, in and out the system, okay? Prior. And again, this is great because it's coming out just as it should. He definitely had a helper or helpers, okay? There's no way he could have did all this alone. There's no way. And as you know, there is a female on this card. So that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, isn't it? Now, it is rumored that there was let me say this morning, social worker who was a female who was also helping him collect these unfortunate boys, okay? And I know there were girls. Let me go into the reading. I understand. So yes, this is true. Okay, so that confirms the social worker, this is the first time that's really been confirmed for me. In the reading, there definitely was a female helper. I also believe that his mother covered a lot of things for him, covered up a lot of evidence, covered up things that he would do that led up to this. He was always mischievous, you guys. He was always a child that I feel very narcissistic energy, getting into trouble. But again, things were covered up for him, okay? And he knew that he had to do this in a matter of time. So these, oh, I got the word kidnappings. Kidnappings were done very quickly, okay? And there was a certain time I'm getting to that he had to distribute these children. So if I had to describe it, he's like the pizza delivery guy of children to this bigger organization. Okay, he's definitely the middleman. He was never charged with those children's deaths, and there's a reason. Again, we're going into part 2. We're in part 1. But I believe he was more like the collector and the distributor. Okay, not the huge organization itself. There was plenty of people working with him and helping him, which is why this was a very quick open and shut case. Very corrupt, okay? Now, he was lying about not knowing those boys and those children, because he is a liar. He's very narcissistic. He was a very privileged, spoiled child, is what I got previously as well. Okay, his energy's coming through very strong now, even in the atmosphere. Ugh. Very creepy energy. Now, I do believe he was involved with doing drugs. This does not help his personality disorder. I'm also getting something about strong bipolar or strong split personality disorder as well. These are things I don't feel people knew about him or that he discussed. But I feel he was definitely dealing with strong mental illnesses, okay? Now, I already know he's a killer, okay? I don't feel that he killed all these children. I do believe he killed those 2 adult men. There's no way he could have killed all these children. Do I believe that he may have killed some? Yes, absolutely. Or he definitely took them somewhere to be sex trafficked and also murdered. And this is, again, we're going into our predatorial type of stuff, you know. These boys were very underprivileged. They were in poverty. They were looking for a way out of their situation. They were all alone, and he pretended to befriend. As you know, this is how they do what they do. I would say prototype, but I don't want to really use that word, but this is how they do what they do. Now, again, we're going into what one of the spirits was describing to me. He told me that we were male models. So basically, these boys, or some of these boys, were selected kind of like through a catalog, kind of like a modeling agency would do, if you will. Or if you buy a dress and you're looking through a catalog and you're like, hey, I like that dress. That's how these children were selected. This is definitely sex trafficking at its highest. This is definitely ring material. It dealt with very prominent people is what I'm getting. Very prominent people. And this is why this was an open and shut case, because they did not want to get into that. They did not want to expose that some of these people, okay, spirits talk, were judges, lawyers, people in politics. See, y'all don't want me to do that, right? Y'all don't want me to tell you the truth and go in a little deeper for you to understand why to this day we're still scratching our heads about these cases, especially involving children, because this stuff goes way back. It is on the rise now more than ever, but this stuff goes way back, okay? It wasn't as well known about then, though, and it was a time, I was there, that it was very trusting, and children were taught to respect adults and to trust adults, and this was something we should have never been taught. It put us in a very dangerous situation, especially with predators, and we didn't start having stranger danger until maybe 85, 86, but before that time, it was like bad, you guys, okay, for children. Tell me about Wayne Williams. Now, as you know, I know what he was doing to these children. You don't have to tell me. I've already spoken to the spirits. I have spoken to, I don't know if his name is pronounced Jeter. I have spoken to Chris Walker. And I have to look up some other names that I have spoken with. I've spoken to the girl that was murdered. There were 2 little girls that were murdered, but the one who was tied to the tree, I spoke with her. Okay. So these children were not all victims of Wayne Williams. I want to explain that. Did he gather a lot of these children? Yes, but again, we have other employees. This is an organization, folks. There's no way Wayne Williams could have did all of this. Did he essay some of those children? Yes. Did he off some of those children? Yes. Okay. They stayed in communication, this organization, this ring. Let me turn, I want you guys to kind of see what I'm doing here. This ring, if you will, okay? And I get they paid him peanuts compared to what they made, you know? Did he eat good? Yes. Did he make what they were making? No. There was an investigation done. Was it a good one? No, because again, we're covering up for elites and higher ups and these things that need to be exposed. Even then, these spirits do want war. They know what he took from them, their lives, their families. He hurt so many people, and to this day, people don't think he had anything to do with it. They try to pin it on the Ku Klux Klan. Now, that's a good one. That's a good one, don't get me wrong. But no. Because if you listen to their interviews and stuff, they will admit they have not done this. There was Jeter, the one member did say that he was killed by one of the KKK members, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've already spoken to Jeter. And he let me know that he ran into Wayne Williams, okay? So that's not how this went down. I don't know if they were paid to say certain things. Again, this is a big cover-up, y'all. Big cover-up. And that's the silver lining of it. Now, as you know, he betrayed these children, okay? And I want to explain that. The involvement is so strong that I even feel the father knew some things, okay? Because there was abuse with Wayne Williams and his father. I don't want to go into SA, but I do believe there was abuse. Now, something did happen to Wayne Williams, y'all, okay? And again, we're doing the repeat patterns of victims. It is not an excuse. I believe Wayne Williams was battling his sexuality. I do believe he was homosexual. I do believe the stories, okay, spirits confirm. I do believe the stories that he did frequent these bars and had homosexual lovers. Yes, I do. And I do believe 2 of his lovers was the 2 men that he murdered that also were helping him in this organization, who got upset because he cheated them out of things with the organization, and they also wanted out because it was getting too hot. Okay? They were finding these bodies up left and right, all over the place, floating in the river, some just laying out there on the rocks, some laying right there in the alleyways. And people was having faith we would find out who in the world is doing this, who is out here hurting these children. And he would travel, you know, to different places and do this. Either kidnap these children or lure them. How was he luring them? Of course, it was with that record label business. Again, a lot of these kids wanted out of poverty, you guys. They were doing things you can't imagine. There was kids prostituting themselves, okay? These ages, it's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. They should be in school, not out prostituting, okay? He does refer to these underprivileged children as drop shots, meaning trash. Children people would not miss, people that children don't care anything about. Now, he's speaking for everyone, but everyone doesn't feel that way. People like you and I who have hearts do care about these children. And they actually are very gifted, is what I get. The kids that he took out would have been definitely an asset to the future. There will be growth from this situation and a rebirth. Sometimes evil things happen to make good things come of it, and I know that sounds terrible. As you know, police involvement. Now, he would pretend to be a father figure to these children. Again, we're going into our predator here. Helping them out of their situation. Claiming they would be stars and be rich. And be able to take care of their families. But as you know, this is not what went down, okay? So basically, these kids were looking for a come up. It sounds good to them at the time. You know, late 70s, early 80s, and I'm going to be a star was the thing. Because, you know, Prince was out, Michael Jackson, all these big names that children dream to be, to have that life. You know what I mean? Had the whole place in fear. Atlanta was in fear, like what in the world? And most of this is happening in the dark. Some of them just being snatched up or found in the day by this one man who's causing these things to happen. The whole place is in fear. The families are in fear. Children are in fear. You have the radio station saying, get inside. If you don't know where your kids are, you better get them. He put a whole place in fear because of corruption. Now, again, this is bigger than Wayne Williams. Hello. Use your common sense. No one man could do this. He was very intelligent. Was he what you would consider logical? No. Book smart and having common sense is 2 different things. And narcissists usually don't have common sense. They just do things out of impulse and on women. That's how they get caught a lot. And I feel like that's how he got caught in this situation. Now, he thought he got a victory. doing this. Like he was going to have a big old come up. He was going to be the man. I don't know if being the man at that time was the name of this saying, the man. Okay. Terrible way to come up. He had no ambition, I get. No real skills. He was intelligent, don't get me wrong. But a music producer, no. Okay? And he did this for money. As you know. He comes from a long line of corruption. Like his parents and going down was into things, you know, real shaky. I get very corrupt. This is how they made their paper. It is very hard to live in Atlanta. It is not cheap. It is very hard to be black in Atlanta because, again, it's still Georgia at the end of the day. Whether it's the city or not, it's still very racist. And it's very hard. And so a lot of people there do use corruption to live at that time, middle class or a little upper than that type of lifestyle. You had to do a little dirt, okay? And he's a very strange, peculiar guy. And people will tell you that, whoever knew him. He was intelligent, but very strange. He has a very strange aura, a very strange energy about him. Weirdo, is that what you want to call it? You want to be blunt? There you have it. And I think that's why he kind of wanted to be around children more, because adults knew, and come on 11:11 on the clock, adults knew that something was off about him, okay? Lots of hidden secrets. Yeah, this man is hiding his sexuality. He's hiding the fact that he's really very unproductive and he's unsuccessful. So he's doing things to get by. Okay? And this was what he chose to do. Now, again, he comes up as the Joker. I told you, very narcissistic energy. Very strange, peculiar type of person. Has no heart, I get. He's very cold-hearted. He can do things and just go have a hamburger, not care. That's what we're dealing with. And I feel it does stem from his abuse and also things that have happened to him. Are we making excuses? No. Are we saying, okay, monsters are created? Yes. Because I feel as a child, Wayne Williams was told he was better than other children, and he was better than some underprivileged black children. This was wrong. You don't teach kids stuff like that, okay? So it kind of made him, and I know this sounds crazy, racist against his own people, okay? Which he thought he was a better selection of a black person. I won't say what was really said. This is YouTube, okay? But you don't teach kids stuff like this, okay? So this was led by dark forces. I don't feel Wayne Williams is a good person. Absolutely not. A lot of things are in the dark that he did about this case. He's lying. He knew some of those children. And he knows what happened to those children. That they were sent off to another place to be sold and used for sexual pleasure or whatever pleasures the buyer would have. Okay? And I don't even want to, okay, really, spirits? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube. Oh, I don't know what word to use. And I hate this. Films of also children being abused and taken out. Okay? Now you get that picture together. There's also conspiracy theories about what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened because you're on my channel. Okay? He lured some of these children. He kidnapped some of these children. He killed some of these children. He abused some and hurt some of these children. He may have drugged some of these children. He definitely killed those 2 adults because things were getting heated. He didn't want to pay them. They were in his face about it. They wanted out. And the only way you get out of this type of stuff is you got to die your way out. Now, as you know, these children, all different types, like, you know, different types of black children. But there was a type, the ones who were in poverty, the ones whose most of their parents were on drugs or didn't care. Not all of them. But I'm telling you the type that he definitely targeted the most. And again, this is very heart-jerking, but I feel like some of those children were out prostituting, you guys, for money, selling themselves to put food on the table for their families. I spoke with Jeter, and he let me know that that day he was out. He was just trying to make a few bucks, you know. He ran into Williams. He said, I had seen this guy around, you know, before. He told me it was the worst mistake that he ever made, and he felt guilty about it. And I told him, it's not your fault. You was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it took a while for him to really understand that it wasn't his fault. So a lot of these children feel like them being got by Wayne Williams was their fault. The ones that were victimized by him. It's really sad, you guys. Oh, okay. And that's the story about Wayne Williams. And look, it's the truth. Now, I'm going to tell you another thing I get. Now, he was also involved with some things dealing with the government. I don't believe what he was saying, that he was lying about some involvement with the CIA, things of that nature, the training. He definitely had training on how to kill y'all. That's not a made-up lie. A lot of these children were found strangled, and he knew how to do it. He knew how to cut off their air, okay? How great he was in that organization, I don't think he's telling the truth, because he's a narcissist and he always has to boost himself, is what I get. He's always got to sound like the hot shot, you know what I mean? But he's not. But I do believe he had maybe some light training or involvement. I don't feel he was great with that organization, but I don't think he's lying about some of that. Now, he would watch these children as well. Like I said, he has a type. He's out shopping. And I think he even referred to some of his outings as, what did he call it when he had the flyers and all that? Like basically out shopping for these kids. And you know why? Wait, okay. So it's telling me he took some of them home. He was sloppy enough to even take some of these victims home. And that's why they found a lot of evidence in his house. But he got rid of like some big time stuff, y'all, that he's connected to. And I think his dad had knowledge of it. And his mother and dad hid a lot of evidence as well as he did. But he was taking them boys right to the house. Mother, you heard some things or saw some things that was off. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you knew your son wasn't right. You knew. And you covered his behavior. You know what? I'm sick of this. Okay. Now, as you know, those children are no longer with us, okay? But I feel, y'all, it's so sick to the point. The evidence I feel he was getting rid of is he had photos, y'all, or videos of this. You understand what I'm saying? Look, learning about these collections he had, videos, pictures. I really believe, I don't know, y'all. Like, I know it's a big cover-up, right? So here we go. I think the police waited way too long. They gave him way too much time to get rid of things. Had they had really been on this dude like they were supposed to, I feel like we would have known about these things. Stashed away on some shelf. Even porn movies and things, you know. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I can't take it. Hurting children because he's got issues, you know. But I feel he was hurt as a child too. But there is no excuse for what he did. Look, this is Wayne Williams. Hello. Y'all can read. A predator to these children. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Saying, listen. And for some reason, kids listen to him. They looked up to him like, oh, he's kind of living good. He got a nice house. But really, he's a loser. He lives with his parents. It's not his house. He's driving new cars. Okay, they were rentals. A lot of those were rentals. And he used rentals to kind of get rid of evidence and different things, you know. So some would say, oh, we saw him in a blue car. Some would say, oh, I saw him in a white car. Some would say, you didn't know which car he was going to be in. But you know what? I get a lot of these kids felt he was weird. And they shied away from, a lot of them picked up, a lot of empathic children picked up on his energy, that he's a predator. Well, thank the Lord they had that gift, and pray for those that didn't, because, over politics, y'all. This was the come up, okay? He wanted to come up. He knew he didn't have no real skills. He knew he was working at Walmart material. Really? Telling lies, stories. But these children will get their blind justice. And these hidden secrets are going to come out eventually, Wayne Williams. You know what you did. And I feel these children haunt him too. And he ain't going to talk about that. Yeah, he trapped these children. So I feel like once he lured them somewhere or he snatched them up, there was no way out. People, doing these readings sometimes takes the wind out my chest. And I knew when I read this dude, it was going to be dark and ugly. I knew it. Nothing good would come out of Wayne Williams. And they're talking about free Wayne Williams. Why? So he can kill some more kids? So he can do this again? Now, you saw the reading. Get with the program. All right, y'all? Now, let's go into our killer cards, because you know what time it is. We're going to do a part 2. We have to, because there's more to the story. Y'all know. Okay, so I had a dream too. One of the victims showed me where he would get them in the house or wherever, you know, he would take them. Because I got a building once and I got his home. And he would take them somewhere, y'all, and flip out. Flip out on them. That's that bipolar split personality mess I'm picking up on. He definitely had something wrong with him, y'all. It was very dangerous, too. They showed me. Look, y'all, you can't make this up. The gift, okay? I told you it's for money. Look, don't want to disclose all the facts because they're embarrassed, because they don't want certain things out. They was out there doing it, had no business doing things they were involved with. But we need you to open up because we are tired, okay? Yeah, some of these boys were actually seeing him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's sad that this went on. There's no parental protection or guidance. He knew that. Please, please do, because I know there's more to the story. Look, threw him away like trash, just floating somewhere in the alley, or laying on some rocks. Yeah. Explain. That's how he dumped him when he got done with him. Yeah, it's not being revealed. Y'all, you heard it from me. Why it's not. Yeah. He knows what happened. He ain't going to confess because he knows he's going to be off if he do. Because he's going to snitch on the wrong people. You understand me? And they can reach him in jail, trust me. It's not a thing. Witnesses may fear coming forward with, yeah, they scared. They know this is a part of an organization. They know that if they tell things, they may not see tomorrow. Okay? What'd I tell y'all? A specific type. Now, I don't feel he was into girls. I do not. Those two girls, we'd have to look in deeper. I feel there was other people doing this with him or part of this organization. But he ain't into girls. No. That's what I keep getting. Like Jeffrey said, that ain't my thing. Okay? I don't care if he was seeing a female or dating a female. That wasn't his thing. Everybody got a type. Even me. Which I like mostly dark-skinned men or tall men, or everybody has a type. Research similar crimes in the area to see if they are linked. So we need to research. Yeah, you know there were similar crimes because it was different people doing it. That's what I get. Now, Wayne Williams didn't have the time or the energy to kill all them kids like that. He'd have been one crazy serial killer. Look, a friend knows something. So a friend of Wayne Williams. Come on, where you at? Somebody used to hang around the weirdo. Look, I think he was giving the kids drugs and alcohol. I told you I felt like some of them were drugged or drunk or... We already know what it is. And tossing them like trash. We already know. Okay, hello. It may be involved. It is involved. Ain't no may to it. Well, we didn't have that at the time, but this would... Well, they did use some of this. It was very, very prehistoric, if you know what I mean, at that time, though. They did get the fingerprints, I think. They did get hairs. blood stains, stuff like that. But I think we were just coming into using forensic science, like the beginning stages. Okay, that's how they busted him. They couldn't take him down for them kids though, because I'm telling you, it's more to it. Y'all know what it is. Now, hold on, interruption.